I got a lot of good things to say about this glove. Let's get into it. Yabai is a Japanese company, but they do ship like everywhere. So I was able to get it. And one thing we're gonna talk about later in the video is the price, because the price is like kind of somewhat mind-boggling. Stick around for this first part though, because I cannot wait to tell you guys all the specs on this thing. So by far the most noticeable thing is gonna be the web on this glove. It looks really cool. It's just one solid piece. The big thing is this is considered a pitcher's web. Like almost everybody considers this a pitcher's web. Here in the US, that is. You guys, I've actually said this before, but I firmly believe the most important things on a glove are how it's actually built, like the shape of it, and then how you break it in. Now, I don't want to act like certain webs aren't better for certain positions, because that's not true, but ultimately the most important thing is just how you're breaking it in. What's so crazy about this is I messaged the guy on Instagram and I said something like,
"What up, dog? Send me your best Japanese infield model."
And he responded to me by saying, get this glove. It is 11.25 inches. We obviously, like we talked about, have a solid one-piece web. And this really is meant for like middle infield, shortstop, second base. But we Americans see this web and go, oh, that's a pitcher's glove. So the guy who actually started Yabai is extremely confident in his view of like how baseball gloves should be made and how they should be worn, how they should be broken in. His big thing is hand placement and like how the fingers line up with the glove, how it closes and everything. It's all honestly pretty confusing, and the details are just like, it's like such minor details, but they do make a really big difference. And honestly, it's pretty hard to explain. His belief is that with this glove, you don't have to wear it two in the pinky. You can wear it traditional and still get the benefits of wearing it two in the pinky because of the way that your hand is shifted in the glove. With that being said, you can totally wear this thing two in the pinky and it is very comfortable. I'm tempted to wear it two in the pinky because I like doing that, but I'm going traditional because that's kind of how he designed it to be worn. The next thing we need to talk about is whether the glove is a 1 or a 2 hinge break-in, and as weird as it may sound, it's actually 1.5. That's actually pretty common with a lot of gloves, but I'll just kind of show you. When you do close the glove, it simply closes up to that middle finger. It has a little bit of the 1 and a little bit of the 2. It feels normal, it feels natural, and if you do go 2 in the pinky, it automatically turns it into just a 2 hinge. The thumb is actually slightly short, so you'll notice that when you do close it, it kind of feels like the thumb is underneath the fingers, which is a little weird. I don't like that, but it's not how the glove was designed to be worn, so I guess maybe I shouldn't complain. The leather is very consistent throughout the whole glove. The snake skin on here is actually really nice. It doesn't feel like it's any lower quality than the rest of the leather. And I might as well mention the laces. The laces are average. They are good. There's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. The manufacturer themselves clearly know what they're doing, because all the craftsmanship on here is amazing. The stitches are, you know, perfect and everything. That rose logo, it's super cool. The leather on this is awesome, and the palm liner itself is actually just like the same as the rest of the glove. So for anybody wondering, it doesn't have some like beautiful, amazing, comfortable palm liner. It's nothing special, but it's also not bad. Now this glove is not fully broken in, but it's broken into the point where I'm able to field ground balls, play catch, do everyday stuff with it. I could use it in a game if I wanted to, but it needs a little bit more work. But let me explain what I like so much about the break-in process. The glove is not bulky on the break-in points, meaning this hinge right here and this one right here. Now the thumb is a little bit thicker, which is okay because of the way the glove naturally closes, it has that 1.5 hinge. So with this being slightly thicker, it kind of complements that, if that makes sense. On the other hand, this pinky side actually thins out just a little bit right here. Not a lot, but just enough to make the difference to where the break-in process was beautiful. We'll talk more about the break-in in just a second. I have a few things I want to say on it, so stay tuned. I mentioned there's no palm liner, but one big thing is that it has a thumb insert, and almost like a half thumb insert. So it's not like a reinforced thumb. Like some Rawlings and Wilson gloves, when you put your hand in there, it is incredibly comfortable. It doesn't feel like that. This has a half reinforced thumb, meaning you don't ever feel any of those thumb loops. It's a flat piece of leather. I have the option to tighten the thumb, but I have it tightened all the way, and I kind of actually just have these dangling. The thumb doesn't really get all that tight. So just so you know, that maybe is actually one of my negatives. You can't tighten the thumb really any more than it's already at. I think I said I had 2 more things, but I think that was it. I'm an idiot, sorry. You guys need to go check out the website, ballgloveking.com. We actually updated it, so there's new merch. Yeah, check it out, see if you like it. Get yourself a baseball hat. We don't need to do a ton of work. I do just want to work on a little bit more of a pocket here and also here. So let's talk about that. I think too many of us are used to catching the ball in the web, all right? Because yes, that's comfortable and that's good and you get less stingers that way, but realistically for infielders, you want to be catching the ball right underneath the fingers actually, because that's a very clean transfer. As you're fielding a ground ball, you want to allow that ball to basically come in right here, and that's where you're pinching it against the glove and getting ready for that transfer. Just whoosh, whoosh.
Should I do that again? You didn't understand? Oh.
So I'm gonna be using this weight and literally just hitting this area right here. I almost forgot to tell you guys about the one thing that I really, really like about the break-in process with this glove. Let me show you. I mentioned it before, but the pinky side is a little bit thinner and allows for a little bit of a quicker break-in. But the guy who actually started this company has a certain way that he tries to break in the pinky side, and I've never done it before. I did it with this glove, and I love it. So normally when I'm trying to break in my thumb and pinky hinge, I literally just go like this and pound away right here to break in the thumb, and then I push onto the other side and go like this. Now this is a minor detail, but this is what he does. He does the thumb just like I do, like this, but then he grabs the pinky and actually pushes it like this, and I think it's a more accurate close. It makes a really big difference. It's much more effective. So I advise you guys, when you're trying to break in that pinky hinge, rather than pushing over this way, flop the glove over like this, push in like this. You're literally going like that. That's your pinky hinge right there. All right, so I need to talk about the leather on the glove really quick, but also just sorry because it's like 97 and like ridiculously bright out right now, so the lighting might look weird. I literally thought that this glove was kip leather just because of the way it feels, but then I messaged the guy. He was actually like offended when I said, is it kip leather? It's US steer hide, and he was explaining that US steer hide, blah, blah, blah is better. Okay, he kind of was telling me why he thinks it's better. It feels weird to field the golf, I can't talk. It's weird to field on just like dirt. Haven't done it in a while. I definitely focused on the palm while breaking it in, rather than focusing on like underneath the web back here. I focused all over here. Yeah, that felt amazing. I can just tell that I actually put extra work in on the palm rather than just the typical pocket, like up underneath the web. That just smacked that one-piece web. That's probably one of the worst parts of having a one-piece web. It does look cool and everything, but you should probably bend it around, like go like, and actually break it all in to get it really loose, because right now it's so stiff. Anything that does hit just directly on that one-piece web is just gonna like kind of fly away. You have no clue where it's gonna go. So far the glove is feeling pretty narrow. So as I'm breaking it in more, I'm gonna need to keep on stretching it out and just give it a very open feel. My biggest takeaway is that it needs more work. A couple fly balls, just cause. I'm actually gonna take a few two in the pinky. I can tell that I feel way more comfortable. The glove, it feels like it's too deep going two in the pinky. Hands-wise though, I definitely feel more comfortable. That's something I don't understand. One second, companies try really hard, like a few do. Marucci, for example. They have a very similar thing with their gloves where they tilt the glove to the side so that even when you wear it traditional, it kind of resembles a two in the pinky style. My problem is the biggest reason to wear two in the pinky is not for a bigger pocket, but for a more sturdy feel. When I'm moving the glove left to right, up and down. I have more control over it because it's kind of like packing it into the side. Oh, that took a hop. That was centimeters away from death. All right, I'm back to traditional. Let's go. What the? Just throw them to me, like hard throws. Nothing crazy, don't hurt your arm. Yeah. All right, I have my final thoughts. The one-piece web. You could definitely use it if you wanted to, but the thing is it takes a lot of extra work. And I really didn't put that extra work in myself, so I can kind of feel what I need to do with it. Because it's just so flat and open, you need to do a ton of extra mallet work with it to really give it one solid pocket. I did so much work over here that I basically neglected this. So I can tell that it's not very stable right now. Like it kind of shoots up and down a little bit too much. Two in the pinky, it shoots up and down way too much as well because there's just extra room, but it definitely feels more comfortable two in the pinky when it comes to moving my glove left to right, as always, like I already said. It feels thin and hard, even though it is steer hide, and with that, you get some stingers, okay? So as you break the glove in more and more and more, those should start to go away. So right now with this being newer, when I am just playing catch and stuff like that, one's right behind that index finger, I can really feel it. I also said finger weird. It's really gross outside. The last thing we need to talk about is actually how our hand fits into this glove and where our knuckles actually line up with it. So hear me out. If you look at my hand right now, you can actually kind of see these knuckles right through here. Now let me put on a different glove. I put on this Pro 1000 and my knuckles kind of disappear. And I'm not just shoving my hand further into this glove, that's just naturally where it sits. So when you stick your hand really far into a glove, you're most likely closing with these joints here. So you're going like this to close the glove. Now with something like this, where my knuckles are a little bit further back, it's me using these knuckles up here to close the glove, like this. If you pay attention, you actually see a lot of MLB guys have their hand a little bit further back, and even if they're going two in the pinky, they're actually using these joints to close the glove. But as you see, it just has a different feel, a different style, and although this is a pretty Japanese glove, it's not crazy out there. Like if any of you guys were to get this, I think you would do just fine. Now, this is a little bit more on the extreme side, especially with this web. He does have other gloves that are maybe more fit for like an American, I don't know, but I think he's worth checking out because the big thing we haven't talked about yet is the price point on this glove. So sadly, the price point has actually gone up since I bought a glove from him, but this glove right here is $190 US. Now that's actually pretty dang similar to the 44, but like I said, I say this is just on another level. It is not compared to the 44. I think it's better. And it's honestly pretty subjective though, because with a baseball glove, different leathers just fit different people, you know? Just because the glove is more expensive or the leather itself cost the company more doesn't mean that it's gonna be nicer. If you're gonna ask me like what's the cheapest but also best glove I can get, this is definitely on the list. As always, I'm not paid. I actually bought this glove myself. It wasn't even a free glove. You guys, this is just something that we need to know about. The glove community needs to know about. The baseball community needs to know about it. He has an Instagram page and that's how I found him. So I'll probably just put that right here so that you guys can go check him out too. But